Let's chat now to Roy Thomas from Hume International, who's a director there. Thank you so much for your time, Roy. We do appreciate it. It seems as though the panic has already started, as, for example, Woolworths has started limiting how many eggs customers can buy. And I'm sure you just heard the two interviews that we did with a baker and a butcher who've indicated that they've basically run out of stock.
Good evening, Heidi. Thanks for having us on the show. Most definitely. We have been lauding this shortage for the last 2 weeks in terms of the effect that bird flu would have on the consumer in South Africa. It will first start, obviously, with eggs and then day-old chicks, and that will progress to, obviously, to poultry on the shelves. Ourselves have been speaking to this quite vocally in the press for the last 2 weeks in terms of saying that, 6 to 8 weeks from now, chicken before the egg scenario, to carry on the pun from earlier, we will have far-reaching consequences in terms of poultry on the shelves that will no longer be available to the consumer at a price that is affordable to the lower LSM.
Certainly.
And while we do laud governments...
Yeah, sorry, continue.
Sorry, no, carry on.
Continue.
And while we do laud government, they have released a gazette in terms of alleviating factors that they look to introduce in terms of scrapping import duties. We do believe that in terms of the application of what they are requiring from importers in terms of substantiation of why they should alleviate these duties is, it's burdensome. So the information that they've requested from us, which we have received today, for us to provide that information would take us a lot longer than the 2 weeks that they've afforded ITAC and the Department of Agriculture to come with a feasible plan in terms of scrapping these duties. So we strongly urge government to rethink the strategy that they've put in place at the moment.
Certainly, and maybe let's stay on that point because, a number of businesses that we spoke to today have indicated that their suppliers have basically told them that they have no stock available. They have no eggs, they have no chicken left, and the little that they do have is at a really high price. Is the solution here, and there's also a bit of a concern around food security, is the solution here to import until this is all resolved?
The most immediate solution to the shortage that is impending is imports. For instance, the transit time for Brazil is 4 weeks from time of order. So you could realistically have product on the shelf within 6 to 8 weeks, and that is when we envision the shortage in terms of the eggs that have been had to be destroyed because of the avian flu outbreak, in terms of the day-old chicks that have had to be destroyed. That will have its far-reaching consequence for the South African consumer. So the only way in order to ensure a supply chain that is at a competitive price for the local consumer is to open imports so that we as importers can provide the stock that the avian flu would have taken out of the local market.
Look, I absolutely love my chicken licken, and I'm very worried that very soon, this has a ripple effect. You're going to have a situation where, restaurants, fast foods are also going to run out of all of this. I want to ask you just a last question. When you think this is going to be resolved, and not with the immediate solution of bringing in the eggs and chickens from other countries, but when the solution or when this is going to be resolved here in South Africa?
The Department of Agriculture has fast-tracked vaccinations in terms of to prevent the spread of the avian flu outbreak. However, the local poultry producers have put a timeline of 6 to 12 months before the problem will be resolved, and that supply levels will return to normal levels. So, I'm no expert, but if the experts are saying 6 to 12 months, I'm pretty sure that that's what we can bank on.
Sorry, let me just get that right. So you're telling me that this is only going to be sorted out possibly in the next 6 to 12 months?
That is the information that we have on hand from the local poultry producers. We're not involved in the local production of chicken, obviously, so I can't really comment on that. But in terms of the information that we have in terms of releases that they've given to their clients, they're projecting 6 to 12 months before it returns to normal.
That is very worrying. Thank you so much for your time and your insights this evening. We do appreciate it. That was Roy Thomas from Hume International.